Hi friends! I hope you all are doing well and enjoying your summer break as best you can. Today we're going to be working on creating our beautiful symmetric butterflies. I have my copy paper, and you'll also need a big sheet of watercolor paper or drawing paper. I'm using a large sheet of drawing paper. You'll also need a set of watercolors. Markers or crayons will also work if you don't have the watercolors. A black crayon and a pair of scissors. So first we're gonna move all that stuff out of the way and grab our copy paper and fold that in half. Once you've done that, we're going to take our black crayon and draw half of a butterfly. Now you all's doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Your wings can be a little bit more pointed if you want, but they can also be curved if you want them to. They can also be larger if you'd like them. So after that, we're going to just cut this out. Make sure that your paper is still folded and just cut this half of a butterfly out. Once that's cut out, you'll have your butterfly shape. Now we're going to keep that folded and set it aside. We're going to take our large watercolor or drawing paper and fold that in half now so that we know where the midpoint is. Now once we've done that, place your half butterfly in the middle of the paper, and we're going to take our black crayon and trace the outline of the butterfly. I'm making sure that my lines stay kind of deep and dark so that we'll be able to see it afterwards. Now here we're going to design our butterfly's wings. So I'm just tracing out half of the body and starting out with my shapes. Now you can make your shapes as big or as small as you'd like. The lines can be curvy or straight. Just remember to take your time, but also have fun with it. I think I've decided to mix both styles up a little bit and have some straight and curvy lines. And once you have your design, make sure you go over it again with your black crayon. That's what I'm doing here, because we're going to transfer this design onto the other side of your paper. So we want to make sure that the lines are really clear and dark. Now that we've done that, you're going to fold your paper in half again, and you're supposed to rub the paper so that the design will transfer to the other side, but I found it easier if I use the back of my paintbrush to trace my designs. It comes out a lot clearer this way. You can't really see it, but I am outlining my design, trying not to go too hard on my paper so that it doesn't rip, but just enough that I can see a light mark where I've been tracing my design. And voila! You can't see it that great, but we're going to go over it with the black crayon again so that it's a lot clearer. making sure you take your time in keeping the design as symmetrical as you can. I'm also taking the time to fill in the body of my butterfly with the black crayon. We can now get into the watercolors, or markers or crayons if that's what you're using. And the reason that we've used this black crayon in the beginning to outline our butterflies so the watercolor doesn't bleed into the other shapes. So now I'm just going to take my water, dipping it into my watercolor set, making sure I'm not pressing too hard, lightly tapping, and I'm going to make sure that I keep my butterfly as symmetrical as possible, filling in each shape with the same color. So here I'm going in with a little bit of red. And instead of just painting one side of my butterfly with all of the colors that I want, I'm going with each color for each shape. So doing one shape on one side and then doing the same shape on the other side. And I'm going to do that for all of the shapes that I've drawn here. And if you are using watercolor, just make sure that you are digging into the color with your brush. You always want to brush really lightly so you don't mess up your colors. I'm going to speed this up a bit, play a little music. Make sure you take some time to maybe play a little music while you guys are working too. This is a nice calm activity to do outside or inside on a rainy day. It's raining here, so it's nice to play a bit of music and make some art. Okay, so now that that's done, we can let it dry a little bit, or you can go right into it and color your background. It can be a solid color or a mix of colors, and this part does not have to be symmetric. I have some examples. I chose to do multiple colors with my backgrounds, make it look a little cloudy, but have fun with it. Choose whatever colors you like. I love to see the outcome. I hope you guys enjoyed this activity. See you next time.